your mom.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are doing the wrap up for the 30-day manga challenge today. Some of you may know I gave up on that because of time restrictions, which is really a bummer because I was so excited to do it. I was actually really excited to make videos every day, but at the moment with my current situation I'm unable to do that, so I'm just gonna do a wrap up. I'm gonna answer all of the 30-day questions in this video. And for all the other previous answers, you can just go back to my other videos to check those out. I think the last video I left off at was day 8 with the most annoying character, so I'm gonna go straight into day 9. A manga you'd like to see adapted. Now, a lot of the manga that I've really wanted to be adapted have recently become anime adaptations. So JoJo's Bizarre Adventure being one of them. I've been liking JoJo for like 10 years now, and finally a lot of anime for JoJo already exists. And Banana Fish has anime in the works, so I'm pretty excited about that. What else is there that I really want as an anime? I can't really... I don't know. I think all manga, if they're popular enough, will get an anime eventually. So, I wish for Fukumoto they made Zero one of the animes as well. I know they have Kaiji and Akagi, but Zero I feel like is more shonen-esque. It's a little easier to get into, and all the games are varied enough that it's not like just Mahjong fans can get into it. I think that's one of the strengths of Kaiji Season 1. So maybe Fukumoto's not dead. He's always working, so maybe do some of his other works would be really great. Now, I say now all the time, sorry. Day 10, a manga you'd like to see more anime of. So I'm assuming this is a manga that already had an anime but it stopped, or maybe they don't make enough of it. So for that I'm gonna go with, I wish a lot of the ones that I wish are ongoing are still ongoing. Overlord used to be one of them where I wish there was more, but there will be more. So now that one's out of the picture for this category. I wish there was more anime of a manga. This is like the hardest thing. Maybe more anime of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I know there will be, but there's a lot, and I hope David Productions is dedicated enough to go all the way right up to JoJolion. I know JoJolion is still ongoing right now, but by the time they reach it, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be finished. So at least up to Steel Ball Run, please. Oh my god. So yeah, the JoJo, more anime of JoJo, please. A manga that makes you fluffy and happy when you read it. I think this is Lovely Complex. Is one of my favorite shoujo mangas ever, and one of my favorite mangas to read because it's so funny and lighthearted. I also feel really warm, and maybe too warm, when I read One Piece because it's quite emotional and intense sometimes, but I really love reading One Piece. Yeah, it's good manga. I'm gonna talk a lot about One Piece, by the way, because as you know, if you've seen my previous videos, I love One Piece. It's my favorite manga, so that is why. Number 12 is your manga crush. This is hard because basically I have a crush on a lot of the characters from every manga I read. A weird crush, I don't know why I really love this character. It's Toriko from Toriko. I don't know why. His visuals, his design, his personality, everything was just so cool. I love Toriko so much. I also really liked Ace before, you know. And there's just so many characters. I love everybody in One Piece actually. And Kenshin from Rurouni Kenshin is still one of my favorites. Oh gosh, it's really hard to pick, but those are a few. The most epic scene ever for day 13. I think it's really hard to choose between any of the climax scenes in One Piece. I think the one in Eni's lobby when Robin was taken away by the CP9 and Usopp shot the government flag. Oh, it was so cool. It's a small gesture, but what it meant was too cool. I actually think about it and I get all goosebumps. It's really, really cool. I love that scene. So, day 14, a manga you never really liked that everyone loves. There's quite a lot of this, actually. Black Butler, I feel like, is one of them. There's more anime than manga for this. A Silent Voice, though, that is a disclaimer because I haven't read the series or watched the movie of Silent Voice. I only read the one-shot, and the one-shot I felt was incredibly hyped, like crazy, oh my god. It was alright, but I don't know. Nothing against, like, I appreciate more disability characters being in manga and bullying should be addressed, but I feel like the deaf girl was really weak. Like, she was just there to be a punching bag until she grew up or something. I don't know, something about that rubbed me the wrong way, as if disabled people are completely defenseless, they don't know how to stand up for themselves. Anyway, that's the way the one-shot made me feel, so I didn't like it as much, but a lot of people didn't share the same sentiment as I did, so that is that. I also thought Death Note was a bit of a slog at some point. A lot of people love it, and it's actually, I still consider it a manga classic now, but yeah, at one point it was like 80% text and like 20% pictures, and for a manga it's more interesting for me to see what's going on rather than hear it explained to me, but I understand because it's all like tactics and like who's gonna be who, blah blah blah, so that's why it's wordy, but it was a slog for me. Alright, day 15 we have the saddest scene, so I'm gonna put spoiler alert for people who don't know the endings to certain things, like the Ace thing from One Piece and the soldier backstory from One Piece, Chopper's backstory from One Piece. Okay, it's all One Piece, I'm sorry. But seriously, those, and Kumakare from Lovecom. I don't know if you guys cried for Kumakare, but I cried. I don't know why I cried for Kumakare. It says everything that led up to it, I suppose. Yeah, Kumakare and Slam Dunk, that one time Sakuragi did a mispass before he shaved his hair. That was heartbreaking as well. Oh, there's a lot of sad scenes, but those are my the ones that I remember. For day 16, a manga you feel you should read but can't. Bleach? I feel like Bleach is one of those where I know at least the first half of it was really good and I want to read for that experience, but knowing what happened to the ending, I can't justify my time investment in that, which kind of sucks because I know the first half is really strong. I don't know why, but I've been delaying reading FMA completely. I've read a little bit and it's really good. I don't know what's stopping me. I should really get onto that. There's no reason, to be honest. And other manga that I can't read, mostly because of language barrier. A lot of the manga that get licensed or scanlated or stuff, there is a very small percentage of what's actually available. And I know Korea does a lot of translated manga for series that haven't even reached the West. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a language barrier. Sometimes I wish I could read Japanese as comfortably as I can read English, but I can't. 17, a manga you feel embarrassed about liking. I mean, I have an anime like that, but do I have a manga like that? I think I will go with, this is BL manga, by the way, Sakura's, anything Sakura, the artist Sakura makes, is really embarrassing. I think I showed this author in one of my previous collection videos. Basically, her titles are like, don't rub up against my ass or something hilarious. It's a major guilty pleasure for me. Her work is really like 1 to 100 in like first few chapters. It's so funny, so great, and also she's a great artist, so everything's really fruity and just awesome. Number 18, we have favorite BL and yuri couple. I mean, I'm a fujoshi, so I like basically all BL couples. No, I wouldn't say every fujoshi is like that, but it's hard to choose is what I'm trying to say. For official yuri couples, I really like Neptune and Uranus. Those two, I had a crush on Uranus when I was a little girl, and I really, really like those two together. For BL couples, in manga, I don't know, it's hard to say. I'm gonna skip over that one because it's too hard for me. So day 19, a manga that you disliked at first but came to enjoy later. I think this was Slam Dunk when I started. I kind of didn't like Sakuragi, but he really grew on me over time as I read the series. I also feel the same way for Monster. I felt it was hard to get into at first, but once it got going, well, you know, the rest is history. And One Piece, believe it or not, at the start I really hated it. The only reason why I got through up to the point where I liked it was because I was doing exams, and I'd rather read One Piece than sit through my exams or do my exam studies. So that is what I did, and it's been the best decision of my life because I love that series now. A manga you started out enjoying but ended up not liking as much. This is Black Butler. I read it at the time to get into Black Butler. I think when it first came out, I was a kind of teenager and I was into that whole gothic phase. It's not a phase, I still am a little bit inside, but I was more obvious about it and it was really up my alley at the time. But as soon as the circus arc ended and it went weird, it's not even by the end of it. So the ending of Circus arc, I was done. I was so unhappy with how that arc wrapped up. And ever since it never was the same again. And then I went back to Circus arc when I was, around this age. And I didn't like that either. So I feel like it was a very situational series for me. I liked it at the time and then I couldn't get back into it. 21, a manga that deserves more recognition. I think Toriko is significantly underrated considering that it's a Jump series. I know some people do like it, and unfortunately it got cancelled mid-life of its intended, lifespan, so the wrap-up wasn't very good, but the story and the series itself was really strong and surprising. It was quite fresh for me at the time that there was a food battle manga that was a bit fantasy as well. It was quite a weird mash, but I really liked it, and the characters were really charming. Sorry. So, yeah, Toriko I feel is underrated for a Shonen Jump series. Kaiji is quite the mainstream in the gambling genre, but as a overall thing, Kaiji as well is not that watched, and I wish more people did, and instead of Kakegurui, Kaiji is just better, I think. yeah, that's all I can think of at the moment. What manga would... Oh, okay, so number 22, a manga you would question what would happen if it didn't exist. This is pretty easy. You can basically say every major series that came out in manga. You can say Fist of the North Star, you can say Saint Seiya, you can say frigging Astro Boy. You know, there's equal parts manga and anime. But for manga specifically, Dragon Ball, of course, if that wasn't there, Shonen Jump wouldn't be the same. Maybe it broke the wheel because it was too good when it came out. It wasn't good, but it was something, a formula that worked, and everyone started using it. So that is why Dragon Ball is quite a major player. Dr. Slump before Dragon Ball. Yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure after Fist of No Star. Saint Seiya, and basically every team-based, group-based series after Saint Seiya. It's a big one, and Shonen Jump was a big part of it. Sailor Moon for magical girls and shoujo team-based series in general. Revolutionary Girl Utena for characters. Rose of Versailles, those ones. Just so many. There's a huge list. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm sure you know which ones they are. Basically, manga and anime would not be the same without those key works. Day 23, best manga villain. This is really, really hard. From the top of my head, I can think of Doflamingo from One Piece. That guy was very scary, so intimidating. Actually, I didn't know how the main characters would get out of that, and it was really intense. Also, from Rurouni Kenshin, I really loved Makoto Shishio. He was really fresh for me. The way he had the relationships he had with his followers, his attitude towards the world, his motivations, it was all kind of different for me at the time, and yeah, he still sticks with me. Like, his character design really sticks with me. I'm running out of batteries. So the longest running manga you own, it's got to be JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because it's still going. It's been about 30 years now, so that's pretty intense. The best manga one-shot you've read. I haven't read a lot of manga one-shots, but I gotta say, I guess The Silent Voice was pretty good despite my previous complaints about it. It was still good, and that's why it's got a full series now and a movie and all of that. The last manga you read, it was actually my my lesbian experience with loneliness. That was the last manga I read. I read it yesterday. A manga you would never buy. There's actually no manga I would ever buy. I would even buy Black Butler if I had the funds and the space to do that. Every piece of work has its pros and cons, and I appreciate them all for those things. 28, a manga you think is so brilliant, but the anime sucks. Rurouni Kenshin. The anime doesn't suck really, but it totally goes in a different way from what the manga does. So if you watch just the anime of Rurouni Kenshin, definitely check out the manga. I think I mentioned this as well in the comments of a previous video. But yeah, Rurouni Kenshin from the top of my head. A manga you read that was just plain weird. I don't know. JoJo? I don't want to be cliche, but JoJo's pretty weird when you list down the bullet points, but when you actually read it, it all just somehow makes sense. 30, your favorite manga that you never want to end. There's no manga that I wish wouldn't end. I hope they all end in the way that the creators intended. That is the main thing. I want the manga to end gracefully and fulfillingly. I don't want them to be cancelled or ended abruptly. Those are the worst kind of endings for me. But I really want every experience to end so that I can feel that what I've invested in was worth it. That's just the kind of thing that I really like in an ending. And that is my 30-day catch-up video for the manga challenge that I gave up on. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm speeding through because the red light is blinking and I'm very scared. Check out my Patreon if you guys are interested in supporting the channel financially. It would help a lot, but you don't have to. Everything's always free on YouTube and I'm not doing exclusive content, so just check it out if you want. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye!